have Cyber Dragons for you today. It also appears that Dinosaur Ryuji is getting some action, and of course, we got to have a couple of other little mysteries as well. Make sure you guys smash the crap out of that subscribe button so you guys don't miss out on more honest content. Now, I know Cyber Dragons have actually kind of been coming back out here as one of the more rogue challengers as of late, which has actually just been phenomenal. I love to see what people are trying to do with this deck, at least in terms of, you know, the little board breaker stuff. And one of the more consistent things that you still continue to see across the board is, you know, activate Clockwork Knight, you know, especially on the Cyber Dragon. Well, congratulations, you have an entire vacuum suck up to contact out with your opponent's board and clear the game. This is now the second case of this deck getting its WCQ invite, so that now proves that this deck is good enough to go X2 at regionals out here and will guide you to a pretty straightforward victory, which is really, I gotta clap for it, man. It's really cool just to see Cyber Dragons even getting a chance to perform at all out here, because you just don't see this anymore. I don't know, going second just hasn't really been an option that players have really wanted to consider out here as of late. I don't really hate on the idea of maybe, you know, we got to work a little bit harder for our victories. I mean, that tends to be the case, right? I mean, also, one big thing that we've seen with a lot of Cyber Dragon lists is they've just been shaving down the regular Cyber Dragon. Now, most people kind of look at this card and they're like, hey, you know, original Cyber Dragon doesn't really tend to get us places. I mean, that's what happens when you have infinite years of power creep kind of turning on into the format out here. The fact that Cyber Dragon had to pivot its strategy into this, you know, contact fuse out sort of strategy while, you know, going through the mini lines of the Galaxy Soldiers out here to try to put you into this better position on like a post-end board isn't really all that surprising either, but that's just, that's what players are having to do right now. You have to make these bad decisions in order to get you into a decent place right now. And you know what? I think that's fine. You've just got to remember, you're going to have to work really hard until we get Clockwork Knight and you'll be in a good position. Ooh, we have some Ryuji for you today. Now, the fact that this is playing a 60 card pile. A lot of Dinosaur in here. Now, the first thing you're going to see straight off the bat here is this duelist is main decking the Shifter. You have to, honestly, if your locals is playing into this much and you're really worried about Shifter out here, I think that's fine. But the thing is, Shifter really is not seeing all that much play right now. You've already kind of seen a little bit of a reduction in this card's existence in the meta, but the fact that, you know, their localized metagame is forcing them to play this, that's very interesting to me. But you do see that we are maximizing our crossouts in here. You definitely don't want to be caught in a bad position, because if this card resolves, this deck is done. It literally cannot. But in terms of the cool dinosaur stuff, I mean, you're doing all the strong base stuff you want to do in here. In terms of the names, I see we're going with the 2 Hankva, the 1 Emva, and 1 copy of Kaiva, which honestly, this is probably the better one for what you want to have running for this. I also see we have some Ultimate Slayers to kind of clean up some things, the good old Meteorologic Aggregator. It's really going to depend on your meta here, on how much value these particular cards are going to be getting you. Outside of that, it's actually really cool to see that, you know, we are doing the Ferocisaurus in here for the little vanilla. I really wish that we had a little bit more extra deck room so we could play some of the more niche garbage that you could be throwing into this deck, because I always love the idea you can make those really cute vanilla fusions and be able to do some really, really dumb things with it. But unfortunately, it never comes up, man. You're just in such a really weird, dire strait for, you know, the slots down here for that, you know, obviously the super poly targets are just going to be better. All right, next up is the Polar Express. Sonny ended up winning his locals with this, and I was kind of curious to know if somebody was going to come up with a more, I can't even really consider this a train deck. All right, like, you've got the Fiendsmith stuff in here, which is going to be fine. You have the 1 Golden Lord, because this has kind of become like the poster child of level 10s in the current era, you know, and it's a one-off. Like, playing one of this is just, oh, hey, I can go ahead and send this in a spell and trap to the graveyard, boom, ping something. I can eat my Gold Sarcophagus off the field, put a 3,500 attack point monster back on the field. Now you have to deal with the problems that the Golden Lord is presenting to you. Especially, Sonny really loves these 60 card piles, man. The fact that you can always cook up something new out here, and it is really cool to see that we can jump to the extreme side of Yu-Gi-Oh! Now. You know, 60 card piles are a little bit more back in fashion. You have these cool ideas that you're able to stick together with these, and granted, they might not be the most consistent results, but if you're smashing through a 4 or 5 round local out here with this, you can do that very consistently. I might even say, like, if you're able to go 5-0 with this, you might have a decent day getting your invite with this. Top 32ing a regional shouldn't necessarily be too hard with a deck like this. Also, modern Yu-Gi-Oh players don't really understand how stupid Dora can be. Just putting a 32-4000 on the field that's probably going to convert on into a Zeus during the next turn really is a little bit of a problem for some people. So overall, in terms of what's presented in this list, I think everything looks great. You've got all of your answers here, all of these engines being able to flow together. I can't really imagine too many dead hands. Well, yeah, my luck, I was going to draw that. But the fact you have the Foolish Burial to get you to dump the Rainbow Ruins just turns this whole hand on. So, yeah, a good ideas coming together. Next up, we have some 60 card hero. Now, there is some really dumb stuff going on in this list. And the first thing you're going to see down here is, I mean, why is there serial spell in here? So you activate this card, choose a normal spell card in your graveyard, discard all cards, and then this effect becomes the same as that normal spell. Now, I'm imagining that we are doing some very, very degenerate things down here in terms of this right here, the Break the Destiny, because this card has what is a target a level 8 or higher, or a Destiny and Dragoon you control destroyed. And if you do, your opponent skips their next main phase 1. Boy, I also see we're playing Over Destiny in here as well. So we're just break the destinying on our opponent and telling them to get good in here. Which, you know what? That's all you got to do. You just got to get to the point where you can very reliably put your opponent into this bad position and go. But I also do see in here, we are doing the Dreadmaster. Oh man, this is one of the coolest tacked out Destiny hero list that I have had the chance to see in here, man. And you're telling me that Break the Destiny down here, and of course the D-Tactics, these are the two things in here that all we needed to do was be able to bring these back together, and boom, we got a reliable deck. Yeah, that's what Yu-Gi-Oh! is about right now. Just some fun little things that we can shove together and skip a phase for your opponent. I, too, love getting a whole phase, because this forces them into the battle phase, and then they have to deal with their main phase, too. So, you know, good luck, duelist. I do not want to be on the receiving end of this pile. This is dumb. And then we have some Malice action for you. Now, why are we covering Malice? Well, I gotta be honest with you. We are trying to see as much innovation as we can with this deck. The TCG, there's like 3 camps for this deck. You've been seeing Sky Striker, Kashtira, and with the Fiendsmith deck, all 3 builds have kind of been, some parts will overlay with others. But I mean, this is going to be your Sky Striker package. You do see, what is this, 3 Engage, the 1 Widowmaker, the 1 Hornet Drones. Congratulations, you got your package, and then you just Kagari roll on up and go. And then, of course, this package is putting the 3 monsters on the field. So all you got to do is commit a Malice monster, and then we're off to the races, which just gets us into the Link 3, which gets us into the combo, and gets us rolling. Yeah, that's pretty much all you need. You do see that this build does cut very heavily back on, hand traps in the deck for more of those strong board breakers. I also, man, we're playing Dimensional Barrier in here. The fact that you are seeing this card present in a deck like this, and the fact that this duelist got away with playing this, is genuinely pretty impressive. But this is kind of the state we have found ourselves in right now. Tech choices that we can actually try to find answers for, and just surprising your opponent in a game 1 situation really can put you into a game-winning position. Like, you would genuinely be surprised the amount of people that just don't have answers for certain interactions and are just like, yeah, okay, sure, better than me, and that's the key to going 7-1, 8-1 at some of these bigger events. So what do you guys think about today's list? Please, so comment down below, tell me what you guys think, and I will see your beautiful faces back here later today, guys. patrons. Thank you. Ah!
Thank you so much for watching. Check out these other videos.